tell me if I was on one side of Mount Everest and you was on the other, you still come and get me? That's a very high mountain.
Turn my headphone down a little bit. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So today, me and my wife chose to go to Old Lady Gang. Okay. So, what happened when we got there? We tried to park across the road, and then
we were abruptly actually stopped by the guy who runs the parking lot for Old Lady Gang to let us know that people usually get towed parking in front of the location, especially on the other side of the street. And it's a parking sign, but much like DC, the parking sign is like 200 feet away from the area where you actually parking in, so you don't really get to see that sign that says no parking. But they will tow you or tell you. They did charge $10 to park there. I wonder if it's different prices on different days, like maybe if they're running slow or doing, a normal weekday, if they would charge like $5 or something like that, or if that's their standard rate. But because you kind of think you're coming to spend money, you don't want to pay $10, but at the same time, you would have had to park in the garage on the street somewhere.
See, when I was out front waiting to get in, I heard like people or the customers or patrons saying, but it's $10 to park, So I really hope that the $10 parking fee is not something that you do every day. I would hope that on slow days, like slow eating days to me would be a Tuesday or Wednesday. Like let's say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the fee should probably be down to $3. So it was about 45 minutes before we got in.
They told us that it was pretty much that on the exact dot. We had the luxury of waiting in the car
because we were in the parking lot.
Right. And so that worked out. And plus they send a text when the table is ready or available. So that's another plus. We didn't get to that point because we walked back to the front and she saw us and gave me the signal, but you would have got a text. So that's kind of good.
We were seated by the hostess. I'm going to say this, that they have a very attractive staff, customer service staff. They don't, nobody looks disgusting where you be like, I can't even eat my food after looking at them, because that matters.
Yes.
Because it's a place back home. I forget the name of the place.
What place here we went to? The burger joint.
What burger joint?
We didn't do a review on what's the name's burger joint, the actor. But remember that guy had like it was some stuff going on and he should like serving food.
I can't even remember what you're talking about. My goddamn. So there's an upstairs and a downstairs, right? And I'm not gonna lie, downstairs was a bit hot. Even though I be sweating like a monkey, but it was a bit warm. It was basement-y, like go-go-y-ish. If you're from the DMV,
it was like a sweat pot.
It was a
black hole.
Like whatever. It was go-go-y-ish. So it was a hot box. Like picture a nightclub that's packed and people sweating. It was pretty clean. I didn't look at it like, this place is disgusting. You know how sometimes you look up and the damn towel be looking like it had toilet water dripping down or rust or something like that. It looked like a clean place to eat. That was not the concern with that place at all. Definitely clean. And when our waitress came out,
well, let's just say the hostess set us down and we looked at the menu, and about 10 minutes later is when we first met our waitress. Would you say that?
I can't remember because you said you seen her first.
No, I didn't. It was just the hostess set us down and gave us the menu.
So no, I would say it was 10-15 minutes that the lady came out, right, and greeted us, which is a I'm gonna say detriment to the restaurant, because we thought about all of that. We like, damn, we sitting here, where's my water? And we're gonna get to the point where she said she didn't have no silverware. Okay. So, my wife ordered a drink and a sweet tea. It didn't take her long to get her sweet tea. It didn't take her long to get the drink. But I ordered a strawberry lemonade, and I got my appetizer before we got our.
And you asked for water.
And I asked for water, right? I had to remind the husband about the water and my strawberry lemonade. But we got our appetizers, which were not cheap. You know, I advise everybody, if you ain't got money in your pockets, hey, don't do it, okay? Just get you some old appetizers, because the appetizers was like $16.
Well, some of them were 13, some were like 10 or 11. But yeah, there were some that were like 15, 13, I believe.
Right. Not that we're not used to drinking or eating expensive. It's just that I was just shocked about it. Let me say that, because I really didn't. I was just shocked about it. I'm gonna be nice. So I was kind of upset too, because I knew that the appetizer was going to be a bit spicy, and I had to wait on my water, and I had to wait on my strawberry lemonade.
We were actually hungry, so you ended up taking bites of the food before the water came, so that's the whole problem.
Right, and I ended up taking bites because we were hungry. By that time, I think it's maybe 2:30.
Yeah.
Here it is. We've been in the spot since 1 o'clock, and now 2:30 is when we got our appetizers, but I still haven't got my water. I still haven't got my strawberry lemonade, and we still don't have silverware. They gave us some plastic silverware,
well,
but
after I asked, we had first of all, the appetizer were at the table for a good 3 minutes. I'm looking over at the bar, like, well, no silverware that I see visibly at the bar. As I get to walk over to go towards the bar, the bartender's like, can I help you? But then the waitress is coming towards us, and then that's when we're like, hey, I'm like, can I get some silverware?
Hey, can I get my water?
Then she goes, yes. She comes back and says that, is it okay if I give you plastic silverware, because they are wrapping up the silverware or whatever, you sterilizing and wrapping it up. I'm like, what the? So y'all just gonna run out of silverware?
Anyway, so then we're gonna get to where we got the food. It did take us a long while to get. I want to say we didn't get our food to maybe 3. Okay. So, and I know that several reviewers of the Old Lady Gang restaurant said don't expect to get your food quickly, you know. Now, the thing about it, again, I will not just charge it to the waitress, because I believe that the whole thing, starting from the top to the bottom, just does not have a flow that works. And unfortunately, it seems like it always happens with black restaurants. Exactly. I don't know why that is. It's like, I need us to do better.
You want them to, you want to root for them and want everybody to do well, but it's always on that.
It's just
like they drop the ball.
Right, Candy. If you're listening, girl, you should be able to grab any waitress and say, "Hey, can you get me blah blah blah?" Because of the fact that they drop the ball a lot in black establishments, right? But when we got our food, my wife got. What did you get, baby?
What did I end up getting? Wings. I got yams and greens.
Okay, and I got lamb chops and mashed potatoes. I'm going to say it does not take that much salt to make food good. That's all I'm going to say. That food is overly seasoned. And now that I don't eat like that anymore, it kind of makes me see how and why here on this, day of heart health, that why black folks have poor health in regards to high cholesterol and high blood pressure and diabetes. I really do see that, because I couldn't eat like that every day.
Now, the yams weren't overly sweet or anything like that.
But it was not
when
yams.
It comes to salted, the lamb
was overly salty.
Right. The wings, they were salty, not as salty as the lamb. And I feel like, the catfish strips, they were heavily salted.
Heavily salty. Salted.
Like when you was plowing the road, the meat was good. It was soft. All the meat was cooked and prepared well.
All the meat was, very well cooked. Even this was my first time eating, what do they call it? The fried deviled eggs thing.
Prepared well.
It was definitely prepared well. I like the fact that it was fried. I've never heard or seen of anything like that before. But for the everything that was put on our plate, besides that yam souffle thing that they gave you,
they call them candy yams.
That shit is not candy yams.
Roll past it like that. Candy yams are candied yams. Not souffle potatoes mashed up with nutmegs.
The nutmeg was so overwhelming.
Ma'am, who kept pouring the nutmeg?
The nutmeg was overwhelming. I cannot lie. It was.
Y'all need to put some vanilla flavor up in that thing.
It basically, to me, tasted like potpourri. It really tastes like potpourri. They should be ashamed of themselves. Like, y'all are not cooking this. Y'all cannot be cooking this and serving this to people and saying that this is candy yams or yams.
No, it legit tastes like somebody ran out of the cinnamon and decided to toss a little extra nutmeg.
It ran out of cinnamon, brown sugar, butter, everything that's supposed to go in the candy. Like, that's. Y'all. Even my lambs, I swear, I told my wife, I said, they must have soaked this in like seawater or something because it was grossly. Now, it was so tender. And let me say this, their presentation is absolutely amazing.
It is.
Amazing. Okay, y'all, so let me say one more thing. I have not been this sleepy after eating since Thanksgiving. That is not a good thing when you want to go to sleep after you eat.
We were supposed to come in and have doing other things.
Watch a movie. We had a lot of stuff playing, but your girl is getting ready to go to sleep. Now, I'm going to try and watch me old good Netflix movie. But as of right now, no ma'am. It is not good. It is not healthy for you to eat food and you be so... Itis. Good word, baby. Itis. Anyway, let's move on. So anyway... my wife went to the bathroom. She said one of the bathrooms was disgusting. I went to the bathroom twice, one upstairs and one downstairs, and both of them was pretty nice to me. But she said, "What she say?"
It was okay. I think that I feel like the wrong person.
So that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was
probably. It's not messed up. It wasn't like tissues.
It wasn't dirty
and everything. It was just
right. You probably just went behind somebody with a stinking ass pussy.
She needs a shower.
Yeah, so sweaty pussy.
And it was a more. They're unisex bathrooms.
Yeah, they are unisex bathrooms, which I think is needed anyway. So it's about 4 bathrooms in the entire place.
So overall.
Oh, what did I want to say? Oh, and the seating is very uncomfortable. For the time that you have to sit in there and wait for your food.
If we weren't there 2.5 hours plus, or we were there a solid 2.5, I feel like. If we weren't there that long, then but they need some cushions.
It could have been decent. It would have been a decent thing, but for you to have that seating, and I know we're trying to go along with the whole Western style old lady gang. I can dig it, but the seating was very, very uncomfortable for people who are waiting to eat. Now, remember, I said that we were there at 1:00. We didn't eat, when we finally did eat, we didn't eat all of our food because we had a lot of food left over. And we didn't get back into the car till about 3:50.
Mm-hmm.
And
literally.
So, that's a long time for a person to be waiting to eat food that I believe is subpar. Now, dig this, guys. The only reason why I'm saying it's subpar is because I'm not a salty eater. Somebody who enjoys salty food like that, y'all have a good heart attack time. But me... The prices is kind of in line with an expensive place. Like when we go down to the Bonefish, that's about
Optimist. Yeah,
Optimist is not that expensive. Oh no, their seafood be real expensive.
Well, then Bonefish is seafood too. But they had seafood on this menu. I mean, Southern cuisine is the catfish. They had the crab cake.
How much was the catfish?
And they had shrimp. Crab cake. The crab cake, actually, interesting you asked that, was on the appetizer menu, and I believe it was $16.
No.
If it wasn't 16, it was $14.
It was $18.95. I remember the crab cakes was $18.95 as an appetizer. So Candy Burrs, the greedy husband she is, she knows that people will come in just to talk and have drinks and eat appetizers, and she puts her drinks or her appetizers at the price range.
The drink wasn't inexpensive too. Sorry to cut you off, baby, but yes.
How much was the drink, boo?
It was about $30. I feel like it was a good price too.
Child, why she gonna drink a drink called the Housewife?
Shout out to you.
I love you, boo.